And I'll start with a question for all of you in the room here today. How's everyone feeling on this Thursday afternoon? Well, the people who are watching us virtually said that was a rather weak response, so they'd like to hear it again. I ask all of you, loudly and proudly, how you feeling today? Fantastic. And now I'm going to ask the same question for everyone who's watching us virtually online. How are you all feeling today? No, if you all clap, I can't hear them. Wait, listen. How are you all feeling today? That's wonderful. They're clapping very loudly in the virtual world. So thank you to everyone who's here in person today and who's watching us online to support Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. This is the 8th time we've gotten together for this fundraising luncheon. We call it Vision for Opportunities. And I think a lot of the people that are in the room and a lot of the people watching already know some of the great work that this organization does in our community. So thank you again for being here today. If you're new to the organization, I'll just tell you a few quick things about what makes them so fantastic. For starters, how about the volunteers that keep driving this organization? There are more than 450 of them in all. If you want to give them a round of applause right now, I'll wait for that. So through that team of volunteers and through your support here today, Northwest Association for Blind Athletes can continue to do the work they do. They can continue to help people build confidence. They can continue to help people develop friendships, enhance relationships, and gain the skills that are necessary for them to be better at all aspects of life. That includes life at school. That includes life at work. That includes life at home. So it is a life-changing organization for sure that's been around now for 15 years, as a matter of fact. I do want to take a moment before we get into some of our special guests here today. I want to get into thanking our board of directors and our ambassador board. So some of you I know are here in person today. Some of you are watching from the comfort of your home or office online. But whether you're here or whether you're there, and if you're a part of our Northwest Association for Blind Athletes board of directors or ambassador board, would you kindly stand up right now so that we can acknowledge you and thank you for your dedication to this organization? Thank you all again for standing. Thank you for being acknowledged. And most importantly, thank you for your dedication to this great group. This event would not be possible, of course, without the support of our sponsors. And we have a slew of fantastic sponsors. I'm going to start by recognizing our presenting sponsor here today, Rivermark Community Bank. How about it for Rivermark? Kim Capilotto from Rivermark Community Bank could not be with us here this afternoon, but the support is still here thanks to this video message. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Kim Capilotto, Chief Banking Officer with Riverview Community Bank, and we are incredibly honored to be the presenting sponsor for this year's Vision for Opportunities Luncheon. This is actually not the first time that we have been the presenting sponsor. We've actually been the presenting sponsor for this event since its inception in 2013. And so I just want to say thank you very much for joining us today. Northwest Association for Blind Athletes celebrates its 15th anniversary this year of providing life-changing opportunities for the students and individuals that use their programs and their services. And we, frankly, just couldn't be more proud to be associated with an organization than we are with Billy and his team's organization. You all have made an incredible difference, not only in our community, but in all the communities that you serve. And I know you should and are very proud of your accomplishments, as are we. The stories that you hear today are nothing more than powerful reflections of the work that NWABA does each and every day in the communities that they serve. And your gift today will help ensure that the Northwest Association for Blind Athletes has the resources to continue to provide those life-changing programs and services for all the communities that they serve. So I just want to say, on behalf of Riverview Community Bank and on behalf of me personally, thank you very much for supporting NWABA. and enjoy today's Vision for Opportunities lunch. And remember that all of the money that you do give today will go directly to ensuring that Billy and his team are able to continue the expansion and serve as many people as we possibly can. Thank you very much for being here.
Big round of applause for Kim. I did notice when I first acknowledged Riverview Community Bank, there seemed to be a little hesitancy from the crowd, as if I misspoke somehow. I actually find that hard to believe, but perhaps I did. So let me just stress again, Riverview Community Bank is a fantastic organization themselves. Riverview Community Bank is a wonderful supporter of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes, and we thank Riverview Community Bank. Am I making myself clear? We thank Riverview Community Bank for continuing their wonderful support of this organization. Thank you, Riverview. That's how we should have started that. We do have some other sponsors here today that need to be acknowledged. I will call them out by name with 100% accuracy, I am sure. We start with the matching gift sponsors. How about the Courtney Irvin Foundation? Can we hear it for the Courtney Irvin Foundation? Steve and Fanny Moore. Big round of applause for Steve and Fanny. And our other matching gift sponsor here today, Dick and Liz Clark. VIP sponsor today, Pacific Office Automation. We thank them this afternoon. Silver sponsor today is On Point Community Credit Union. How about if we're on point? Patron sponsors, if you'd like to wait until the end, I have 7 of these. Patron sponsors, although usually people still clap anyway, even if I say wait till the end. Here we go. Patron sponsors, Billy Henry and Ashlyn Salzman. Yeah, I can't stop the love. If you want to show your love, go for it. Fraser Wealth Management. Pacific WRO. Providence Health and Services. TJ and Associates. U.S. Bank. Washington Trust Bank. And the 2 at the top of that list, worth mentioning again, Billy Henry and Ashlyn Salzman. Riverview Community Bank is our presenting sponsor. Worth mentioning them again, I would think. Also want to mention our media sponsor, The Columbian. So a big thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. And a big thank you right now to all of our table captains. You don't have to stand up right now because I can see that most of you are actually like in mid-chew. I don't want to cause any choking. So how about just a raising of the hands? For the table captains in the room today, can you raise your hands? And we thank all of you as well for helping to make this event a total success here today. So I know again that most of you are familiar with the great work of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. Whether you've been a part of this organization for years, whether you're brand new to this organization, it never hurts to take a look at what they do to make our community better. So right now I'm going to ask you to turn your attentions to the video screen for a quick look at the work of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes.
More than 3.4 million individuals in the U.S. are blind or visually impaired, with limited access to physical activity, leading to an increased chance of living an isolated, sedentary lifestyle. Together, we believe we can change that. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities through sports and physical activity for individuals who are blind and visually impaired.
The Northwest Association of Blind Athletes, I can't even begin to tell you what a gift that has been.
We know that by providing opportunities through sports and physical activities, our athletes learn success is within their grasp. That success builds self-esteem, confidence, and resilience in environments to develop social skills, friendships and communities.
Here's a place where they can make friends and not be so shy. Like, I've seen very, very quiet people open up and become a totally different person. I've made friends with those people.
As an athlete-centered organization, we respond to the needs of the individuals we serve by offering 6 unique core programs to meet individuals wherever they want support. We offer more than 15 different sports experiences as single-day events through sports outreach. This provides an opportunity to connect with others, to learn and refine skills, gain confidence, and maintain an active lifestyle. Camp Spark is a comprehensive overnight sports camp with week-long sessions giving youth the opportunity to try out new sports and activities, to gain independence being away from the comfort of home, and to build friendships with others who share similar experiences.
As a visually impaired youth, I don't have as much opportunities as other youth, and camp honestly, really provides the opportunities that I lack in everyday life.
The sports adaptation program span across all 4 states we're in. This is a 3-pronged design, providing consultations to schools and organizations, lending equipment to families and schools at no cost, and offering online training videos so that every individual can participate in their own home, school, and community. In addition, we are honored to support individuals and teams in attending local, regional, and national competitions. NWABA raises community awareness and changes the narrative for individuals who are blind or visually impaired through increasing visibility. Set in motion by 6 students participating in powerlifting, Northwest Association for Blind Athletes has grown to reach 1,700 children, youth, and adults annually. That growth to serve more individuals was inspired by the belief that individuals with visual impairments deserve to lead happier, healthier, independent lives.
When we participate in sports and physical activities, we learn more than just the rules of the game.
We set and achieve goals.
Yeah. We learn teamwork and communication.
We gain a sense of self-esteem, resilience, and confidence.
We learn what we are capable of.
With sports and physical activity, we can all lead happier, healthier, and independent lives.
Our vision ahead is to do more and be more for the individuals and families we serve. With you by our side, NWABA can support more children, youth, and adults who are blind and visually impaired with the resources to achieve their dreams.
I hope you guys have a great day, and a great year, and a great life. See you later.
And we can bring that appreciation down just a notch before we raise it up again really loudly, because right now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the founder, the president, the CEO of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. Pretty simply, let's just call him the man. Billy Henry, you are the man. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Let's hear it even louder now for Billy Henry.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for being here today. Whether you are here in the room or tuning in virtually, we are so excited that you're joining us for our Vision for Opportunities Fundraising Lunch. As Drew said, my name is Billy Henry, and I am honored to be the founder, president, and CEO of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. I founded Northwest Association for Blind Athletes in 2007 when I was 15 because I wanted to participate in powerlifting with my friends. It really started out with 5 of my friends coming over to my parents' house to do powerlifting. And from that experience, we learned teamwork, we had an opportunity to compete, and we had an opportunity to build life skills that flowed into other areas of life. Fast forward to today, nearly 15 years later, we are now delivering more than 1,900 program and service interactions, and last year delivered over 600 virtual and in-person events to people who are blind or visually impaired. Today is our Vision for Opportunities Fundraising Lunch, and I thought it would be very fitting to share our vision with each of you today. Our vision is to be the national leader in providing life-changing opportunities through sports and physical activity to individuals who are blind or visually impaired. We want to be able to serve every individual where they're at to improve their quality of life through additional program events, through creating new resources, and to delivering more events on a reoccurring basis to the individuals and families that we serve. As we come out of the COVID-19 pandemic, Northwest Association for Blind Athletes is seeing a record demand for services to the point that we're not able to serve every individual who's asking for our help right now. And our vision is that in over the next year to 2 years, that we're able to serve every individual who needs our help when they need our help and in the way that works best for them. So on behalf of the individuals and families that we serve, thank you all so much for being here. The future is bright, and I'm looking forward to achieving that vision together. Thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to welcome our board chair, Eric Selden, who will be joining us with a quick video. But before we do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Eric. Eric and I met at a Vancouver Business Journal networking event in 2010, and he joined the board shortly after that and has been board chair since 2013. Eric, thank you so much for your dedication, for your friendship, and for your leadership to help us get where we are today. Almost 11 years since you joined the board. Honored to partner with you and help continue to drive our mission forward. So now it's my pleasure to introduce a short video of Eric Selden.
Hi all, my name is Eric Selden. I'm the board chairman for the Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. I'd like to say thank you on behalf of our youth, children, adults, and military veterans for attending today's Vision for Opportunities Lunch. This year marks a transformational year as we approach our 15-year anniversary, which will be on May 5th, 2022. I've had the honor of serving on the board for the past 11 years, and through that time I've seen tremendous growth and am very excited for what's to come. In 2007, we served 6 individuals, and just this last year in 2020 and 2021, we served over 1,900. So we very much could not have done this without support of individuals like yourself. As we continue to move forward through this COVID year, we were successful in serving 80 youth at the Camp Spark this past summer, which was held at the McMinnville University. It was a great opportunity for our youth to get together in a safe environment where they could thrive and work very hard and participate in sports and physical activity with others that were just like themselves. We look forward to being able to provide additional life-changing opportunities and positioning ourselves with our strategic and innovative programs to serve those in our communities. Today, we ask for your support to continue to push forward with that mission. And thank you for today and coming out to support the organization, and have a great lunch.
Awesome. Eric, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, and I will pass it back to Drew. Thank you.
And I will take it. I will take it back, Billy. Thank you very much. Big round of applause one more time for the founder, the president, the CEO of NWABA, Billy Henry. It was brought to my attention at the very beginning. I was so caught up in saying hello, I never formally introduced myself, so I'll quickly do that. My name is Drew Carney. I'm a part of KGW News Channel 8, as we used to call ourselves. Now it's just KGW. But it was through my work at KGW that I actually met this next guest who's joining me here on stage. We did a quick spot with her and some other members of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. And it was a spot where the group was receiving a couple of tandem bikes. But I recognized that day that this woman has fantastic energy. I wasn't surprised when I heard that she was asked to come out here today to speak to all of you. She is one of the athletes involved in this organization. She also deserves a big round of applause here from you today. As you listen to her story, really soak it up and really consider how much you're willing to give today to support Lillian and other athletes like her. Ladies and gentlemen, Lillian Goodman is here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like Drew mentioned, my name is Lillian Goodman, and down at my feet is my amazing sidekick, Spinoza. First, I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for attending today's luncheon and giving your time and resources to better the lives of people who are blind or visually impaired. To start off, a little bit about myself. At the age of 7, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa through a syndrome called Bardet-Biedl. I am currently in between being totally blind and low vision. This means that I have some vision. I am able to see shapes, some colors, and shadows. When I was diagnosed, my parents told me that it was going to be okay, and that they were going to support me in any way they could. They had the philosophy that it was not if, it is how. Therefore, I was in sports from a young age. I did soccer until I was in the 3rd grade and could no longer participate in the sport due to my vision loss. Then, my family and I found a swim team, and I did that until I was a junior in high school. However, the summer before my sophomore year of high school, I attended the Summer Work Experience program through the Oregon Commission for the Blind, where we had the chance to do an event with NWABA. I fell in love with the sport, and I left the event wanting to do more, which led me to researching clubs in the Portland area and eventually joining the Kraken team of Wasabi, and then finally to Wasabi VIP, which was sponsored through NWABA. Life is stressful. I experience all the normal stresses that other people face in addition to the stresses associated with being blind. Therefore, sports and physical activity is important for me to help manage these stresses. When I am on a tandem bike ride, feeling the wind in my hair and hearing the birds on the trail, or feeling the paddle go through the water during a dragon boat practice, I feel in my happy place, where I can forget stressors and anxiety in my life and just be in the moment. Sports and physical activity are important to me because it allows me to be apart and spend time with my family. My family is very active. We do a lot of hiking, biking, camping, paddleboarding, and so much more. Being with my family is great, and I love them, but they aren't blind themselves. So they can kind of get what it is like to be blind or visually impaired, but they will never fully understand. That is why it is so great to do events with NWABA. I can be around other people who are blind or visually impaired and hear their stories and gain resources from them. This past summer and the summer of 2019, I had the privilege of working as a camp staff at Camp Spark, which was very impactful for me. I was able to give back to the organization that had given so much to me. I was also able to help fellow blind and visually impaired children have the opportunity to experience sports that they may never have been able to. Sports is such a big part of my life that it was so amazing to be able to share it with others. I never had this as a kid, which is so amazing why NWABA provides this. After hearing my story and experiences with NWABA, you might be wondering, what can I do? Well, you can get involved by volunteering or sharing your resources to continue the life-changing programs of NWABA. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the luncheon. Thank you.
Lillian, the crowd loves you. In fact, they love you so much they want me to stop so they can keep clapping. Lillian Goodman, ladies and gentlemen, how about it? I mean, that right there tells you why this is an organization that you need to support, why it's an organization that you should support, and why it's one that we hope you support greatly here today. And if that wasn't enough, we have more for you here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, because we talked about how critical volunteers are to this group. More than 450 of them right now making this thing work year-round. And we have someone in the room here today who has been a volunteer for a long time. She will explain to us today why she got involved and why she continues to be involved. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Margaret Hill to the stage right now. Margaret Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Clap until she gets right about here.
Good afternoon. My name is Margaret Hill, and I am so delighted to be here today. Northwest Association for Blind Athletes' mission is to provide life-changing opportunities through sports and physical activity to individuals who are blind and visually impaired. My experience is that it provides the same to its volunteers. Oh God, I told you I was gonna cry. I can do it. I began volunteering with the blind and visually impaired in elementary school. So I was thrilled to join a sorority whose philanthropic focus was service for sight. I have volunteered with many service for sight organizations over the years, and NWABA and Guide Dogs for the Blind are definitely my favorites, as they both provide independence to those they serve, and sometimes those they serve are the same, such as Lillian. I also want to say that Lillian is a sorority sister of mine. I first learned of NWABA when I attended this particular event in 2013 with a couple Delta Gamma sisters. We found the stories so compelling, we knew we wanted to build a relationship with this organization. While initially our support was primarily financial, it wasn't too long before I began volunteering. In 2015, I was a human guide for an athlete with a visual impairment on the NWABA-sponsored Portland to Coast Team IROC. What a delight and an eye-opener it was to spend countless hours in a van with our two athletes, the other guide, and our driver. Our athletes were fast walkers. While ideally the athlete sets the pace, my athlete was faster than me, so he had to adjust his pace to mine. This has spurred me on for the last 6 years to become a faster and stronger walker. And maybe someday I'll be ready to again guide another athlete on an NWABA-sponsored Portland to Coast team. What drew me in and has kept me coming back over the years is the independence and confidence that NWABA fosters in its athletes and the relationships it builds. I've seen the joy and increased confidence of athletes after hiking, swimming, tandem bicycling, stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, skiing, and snowboarding. I will never forget hiking in Forest Park with a young man who had recently lost his vision and witnessing his joy at experiencing nature in a way that he thought had been lost to him. This past summer, I worked a week as a floating camp counselor at Camp Spark, where I saw truly gifted professionals teach life skills to youth while the youth were learning or practicing sports and orientation and mobility skills. And the support didn't end when the campers left camp. Comprehensive assessments were provided to educational teams on individual adaptations and modifications used at camp in order to increase the athletes' inclusion in physical education and activities in their schools and communities outside of camp. Isn't that cool? Who doesn't want to be included? Most recently, my worlds collided when OMSI provided touch tours of the Dinosaurs Revealed exhibit to those who are blind and visually impaired and their families. And I had the absolute joy of giving a private touch tour of the exhibit to my former swimming partner, who I hadn't seen since COVID struck. NWABA is kind and inclusive. I was that kid in elementary school, I'm gonna cry again. I can do it, who was one of the last chosen in PE. And I didn't even take PE in high school due to a ski injury suffered during my 8th grade ski trip. NWA serves athletes of all levels and abilities, and they accept volunteers of all levels and abilities. They taught me to stand up paddleboard, and after a 30-year hiatus from skiing, they got me back on the magic carpet ride, counting turns, guarding the wee ones, escorting them to the bathrooms, as awesome Mount Hood Meadows ski instructors taught them to ski. This leads me to one example of how NWABA truly does enrich lives and provides opportunities for me personally. I was so impressed with NWABA's partnership with Mount Hood Meadows that when I retired from corporate America in 2020, I went to work there at Mount Hood Meadows as a guest host during the ski season, and I graduated from the magic carpet ride. One never knows what the future may hold when one shows up to do good. I hope you will join me in supporting NWABA with your resources of time, money, and/or connections so that they may continue to foster the independence of individuals who are blind and visually impaired. Thank you.
Can we keep the applause going for Margaret as she makes her way back to her seat? Margaret, NWABA thanks you for your support and the story that you just shared with us today. Do we have any Rocky fans in the room? Like Rocky Balboa? Wonderful, 4. There's 4 of you. Probably not even worth sharing the story now, but there are 2 things that make me cry. It's like if you're watching the first Rocky, the next to last round, my boys are here today, they're embarrassed that I'm even sharing this. The next to last round of the first fight against Apollo Creed in the first Rocky movie, Rocky gets knocked down. He should have been down. He should have stayed down. There's no way he can get up. And his manager's even telling him, stay down, stay down. And man, wouldn't you know it, Rocky gets back up and he fights that last round. Makes me cry every time. The other thing that makes me cry is when I listen and watch people who are so passionate about something, anything, doesn't matter what it is, but when they can't even talk about it without crying, it makes me cry. How am I supposed to finish this afternoon now, Margaret? Because now we're at the critical point of the afternoon. This is where I have to ask everyone to give. But hopefully that inspires you to give here today. That is the point that we're at now, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon with this event. It's the point where I ask you to give as much as you can. Sometimes I say give until it hurts a little bit. Maybe even to the point where tomorrow you go, man, I wish I didn't give that much. But we'll be happy you did. There's a few different ways this will work. Number one is the big, large white envelope on your tables. So everyone should find that. I was going to bring the one up on, oh, do we have it here? I did bring it up. Looks like this. Looks like this. You all have it? Fantastic. Inside the big envelope are smaller envelopes for everyone at the table. So get those smaller envelopes inside in front of you right now. Get a pen in your hand and think about what you are capable of, what you're willing to give here today. Don't give just yet, because I have some other words of inspiration I want to share before you put down that final number. But I just want to make sure everyone is equipped with what they need to make that gift here today. Number one, because of the sponsors we mentioned earlier, and have I mentioned lately, Riverview Community Bank, presenting sponsor of this wonderful event. Sponsors like Riverview make this a 100% your gift helps the organization event. Food's paid for, the room's paid for, everything you can imagine has been taken care of already as far as the event is concerned. Now, all the money we take in from you will go directly to the organization. And because of some fantastic matching gifts, we're going to make a difference here today. Number one, lead gift of $3,000 from the Courtney Irvin Foundation, Steve and Fannie Moore, and a few other anonymous donors. Again, they have combined today for a $4,000 in matching gifts offer to help us raise, or meet our goal, that is, of raising $30,000 here this afternoon. So again, because of these matching gifts from the Courtney Irvin Foundation, Steve and Fannie Moore, and a few others, they have combined $4,000 in matching gifts to help us get to that $30,000 goal. There's two different ways we're going to make the matches work today. Number one, the first match, I should say, is for everyone that gives $50 or more. So if you're willing to give that much here today, $50 or more, that gift will be matched until we raise $3,000. In other words, if just 60 people today, and there's about 60 in the room here. So every one of you in the room, if you were to give $50 at least today, that gift would be matched for $3,000, and it will help us get to that $30,000 goal. This is just for the people watching us online right now. I don't know if I can trust the 60 people in the room. I don't know if I can count on them to come up with the 60 gifts of $50 or more. So please, I encourage everyone watching us virtually online here today to also give to Northwest Association of Blind Athletes, and consider that $50 gift that will be matched here today. The second match, excuse me real quick, still crying from Margaret's speech. Wonderful Margaret. The second match we have here today is for anyone who's interested in signing up as a monthly donor, because the first 10 people that sign up as a monthly donor at $10 a month or more, I'll mention the minimum, $10 a month. Then I like to stress you can give more. But if you sign up as a monthly donor for at least $10 a month, your monthly gift will be matched at $100 until we hit $1,000. So again, two fantastic ways to really make a difference between the total gift of $50 or more or this monthly gift of at least $10 a month. Thank you again to everyone who gives here today. I do want to point out real quick, monthly donations are one of the keys that makes this organization run. That recurring monthly revenue allows Northwest Association for Blind Athletes to continue to run its programs across the region. So again, if we can just get 10 people this afternoon to sign up to be a monthly donor at the $10 level or more, you can bring this organization closer to its ultimate goal of raising $30,000 here this afternoon. Any amount you give today, any amount, seriously, will help. And will help provide the life-changing programs that we've talked about here this afternoon. But I just want to quickly run through a couple of dollar amounts and talk about the impacts specifically that these various levels can have. Number one, a gift of $1,000 will support sending athletes to Camp Spark next summer. We heard Lillian talk about the difference Camp Spark can make. It's a fantastic opportunity for athletes. Sending just one camper to Camp Spark costs $3,200. $3,200. So making that gift of $1,000 today can really help out in helping these campers get that full Camp Spark experience. Of course, a gift of $500 will also make a huge difference. $500 will empower children and adults, all of our athletes, to achieve their goals. A gift of $250. A gift of $250, if you want to think about this, will provide adaptive equipment. The kind of equipment that allows students to experience a sport for the very first time. So that's the kind of impact your gift of $250 can have here today. Moving down the list, a gift of $100 will support virtual programming. And we know now in this day and age just how critical this can be. $100 supports virtual programming so athletes can stay involved in this organization all year long, wherever they are, whether they're at home, whether they're at school, anywhere. They can be a part of Northwest Association for Blind Athletes through the virtual programming. So think about that as you consider making a $100 gift. And then lastly, I'd like to mention gifts of $50 will provide a scholarship to an athlete. $50 gift today provides a scholarship to an athlete and will help them achieve their dreams and their goals. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the time to have your head down, if you haven't given already, and give. And if you've already written down a number, I want you to look at it and think, should I have given more? Should this number be larger than it currently is on this piece of paper? I'm going to give you the minute to figure that out for yourselves. We are way ahead of schedule here. It is 20 minutes before 1 o'clock. We can sit here for 15 minutes if we'd like to really think about how much we want to give. I don't think you need that much time, but I'm going to give you a couple of minutes right now to talk about it, to think about it, and to give as much as you can to support NWABA. And just so there's not complete awkward silence, as you continue to think about your gift here today, I can deliver a couple of facts about this organization that I think are worth passing along. Number one, and I was telling my kids this as we drove down here today, they said, Dad, does NWABA support just kids? Or do they also help adults, serve adults? They said, no, they serve all ages. And I told them, and this is true, the youngest person they serve right now currently, 6 months old. Billy, I don't know what sport this 6-month-old is involved in. I also know you to be an honest man, so I'm going to take you at your word. Swimming? A little swimming? Okay. Hey, I should have done that when I was 6 months old. So they have a 6-month-old right now in the organization, benefiting from the organization. The oldest participant right now, 83. That participant is doing the backstroke. But it just shows you the range of ages that is supported and helped through Northwest Association for Blind Athletes. 6 months to 83. And who knows, those numbers may change in the years to come. We could go from 1 month to 100. Something else to consider here today. I think I mentioned that the organization has been around for just about 15 years now. Billy founded Northwest Association for Blind Athletes in 2007. Back then, teeny, tiny organization. 6 people. That's the number of people that were served by NWABA when it first began in 2007. Here we are 15 years later. Anyone want to guess how many people are served now currently? From 6 to... If you have all the answers, what am I doing here? You're absolutely right. 1,900. 1,900 people of all ages, again, served every year by NWABA. They deliver programs and services to blind and visually impaired people in 4 different states at this point: Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana. If they move outside of those 4 states, we'll have to change the name of the organization, of course. Worldwide Association of Blind Athletes, or for Blind Athletes, would work as well, Billy. How about, oh, you like that? WWABA, Worldwide Association for Blind Athletes. Right now, it is still the Northwest Association, of course, and we love that it started right here in our own backyard. Last thing I'll share, and I think we mentioned this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Last thing to think about this afternoon. NWABA participants say this organization, and we've heard from them, there's been a great response. We're talking 95% plus within the organization who are served by this great group. They tell us that the organization has encouraged them to be more independent. It's inspired them to advocate for themselves, both at home and at school, and it has encouraged them to be a greater part of their community. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your support here this afternoon. We're not quite done, but I think now is a fantastic time to give yourselves a round of applause and to support the organization and everyone who's come up here this afternoon to speak about it with that big round of applause. Can I hear from you right now? The gifts are coming in online, and we can track those a little bit easier than we can track the gifts that are coming in through the envelopes right now. I may have a partial total to share with you here in less than a minute, if that's what that piece of paper is all about. Before I get that sticky note, let me tell you about this one. Thank you. Awesome. Fantastic. Before we get to the numbers, how about a big shout out for a birthday boy in the room here today? You guys know who I'm talking about? Mr. Dimitri? Dimitri. The piece of paper does not say, Dimitri, the critical number that I was expecting. There's no age given for this birthday that I was told to announce. Are we sharing numbers here today, or are we not sharing numbers? 36 years old today, the birthday boy, Mr. Dimitri. I have another number to share. This is Dimitri's Social Security number. No, this is, no, it's not. It's just your home address. It is actually the total. I mean, how long have we been collecting the money? Like 6 minutes? So far here today, not at our goal, but this is just over the course of the last few minutes, $19,736. If you're watching online, you can still give. If you're here in the room, you can still give. And those envelopes are just one way. If you literally wrote out a check to Northwest Association for Blind Athletes and handed it to Billy, that would work as a way to give too, okay? We're never going to tell you how to give. We're just going to ask that you do give to support this wonderful organization. A big thank you again today to all of our sponsors. Riverview Community Bank being the presenting sponsor. Thank you, Riverview, for your continued support of this organization. Our table captains, who we thanked earlier, we thank you again. Volunteers, doesn't work without you. We thank you again. And to all of you watching in the room and watching online, thank you for supporting NWABA. That's it from here. Have a great rest of your day.